Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
I'm going to ask you a question today, Mr. Magazine, and I want you to detail. Stuff comes in.
Yep.
How do you figure out where it's being listed at and why? What is your thought process on what goes where and why it goes there?
Oh, that's an easy one. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
I just had to do that today. We were talking about our friend that we dealt with years ago. Came in with a truckload of movies and magazines. And I really had to leave because I'm going on a trip tomorrow. But I mean, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spend an extra 45 minutes, sort this out, and get it over with so I don't have to just store it. So there was VHS movies, there was DVDs, and then there was magazines.
Now, are these of the adult nature? Or?
They are adult nature,
Okay.
yep. But it's easy because I have 3 different listers that those are their niches. So
Okay.
I sorted all the DVDs out. That's going to employee number 1. I sorted all the VHS out. Those are going to the warehouse because we have an employee over there that's listing Victorian trade cards now, but then she'll go back to the VHS at some point and list those. So all the VHS are at the warehouse. And then I have employee number 3 who lists magazines, and I had sorted all those out, and I even priced them in stacks while I'm away. So it's everything. It wasn't even stored. I just put it on her sorting table, you know, with prices on top, and then we're good to go with platform and so forth.
Okay,
Did I answer your question?
No, not even close.
Oh, jeez. All right.
How do you know what goes on which platform? I mean, thank you for taking us behind the scenes.
How do I know?
How do you know this? How do you know this piece of paper is eBay, and this piece of paper is Amazon,
Well, I know
and this piece of paper is Etsy, and this piece of paper is whatnot, and this piece of paper is Discogs, and this piece of paper is. How do you know that?
Okay, so I know because I know where I want them to go.
Right, but what basis do you have for why they go there?
Certain things I can't sell on eBay or
Okay.
Amazon that I can sell on the website.
Okay.
So anything graphic, we'll say graphic, and I sorted them down in the prices. 30.
And I'm not just talking about adult. I'm also
Yeah,
talking
right.
about toys. I'm also
Yeah, yeah.
talking about
Yep.
sports cards,
Yeah.
whatever.
But I'll separate them and I'll put like $36.99 SH. Those are going on Shopify website. Obviously, the DVDs go on a DVD site. The VHS go on our website, Shopify website as well. If it's toys, generally, we got a guy now, we're just giving him all toys, but if it's high-end toys, I might give them to my manager unopened or oversized because he seems to weigh them properly, so there's no issues when we ship them out. Or he'll put UPS as an option because it's a cheaper option for the customers, and you know we don't have to charge so much for shipping. So bigger toys may go to him, or higher-end stuff goes to him. But we do have this one toy lister that's an expert on toy figures. He's going to get figures when it's carded or loose. He gets them. I got someone else that can do like NASCAR die-cast, but more magazine stuff on Amazon. So our system would be like, I'm going to go away. All right, you're going to go into the magazine room, pull anything out that you think is on Amazon and sellable. So Sports Illustrated, stuff like that we don't list regularly, but they'll sell. And you're putting them right on Amazon. And if they're not on Amazon or currently unavailable, then you set them aside, and we'll decide if we're going to put them on eBay or so forth. So, I've been doing this a long time where there's no right or wrong way. It's just my way that I feel it's best to put them on platforms and so forth. Did I answer it that time?
Yeah. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how I decide these things, Mr. Magazine.
Yes.
I'm sure that you're sitting in the edge of your seat.
Yeah. Well, I would think certain things we would decide the same way, like comics. I mean, most comics we would put on Amazon if they're cheaper. And then if it's a rare one or more expensive one, we'll throw it on eBay. Or obscure that it wouldn't be on Amazon, something like that. Same thing with records. Certain things are just better on Amazon, and you're going to get more money for them. But obviously, you're the book guy. I think a lot of rare books are going to go on eBay.
Right, because it's hard to differentiate a first print from a later print on Amazon. And even if you're able to do so, then you run into the problem, unless you're listing as collectible, where you end up getting a pricing error. You're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is a $2,000 book. You're absolutely right. It is, because it is.
Yeah.
I don't care that somebody else is listing one for $1.49 because they listed something that's not exactly what it is.
We actually changed our philosophy on that too with some of the rare, we'll call men's magazines that were allowed to list on Amazon. Some are worth 100, 200, 500 on a rare occasion, and we were putting them on Amazon. It's like, let's not anymore because one, they're not selling. Nothing over 200 very rarely sells on Amazon. And two, at some point they're going to knock it off for pricing. So let's just put it on the website because we got enough customers there that they'll find it over there.
And if it's, obviously obscure ephemera, it's either going to go on Whatnot or eBay, on things like that, because you really, I don't have the market for that over on Amazon.
Right.
And then if it's, and I don't know exactly how to put this, but if it's not worth a ton, but it's striking, catches your eye,
Yeah.
like a nice piece of sheet music with a nice illustration on it, that probably will go to Etsy.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of thing that I find I have luck with over on Etsy, are things like that. Because people over there are crafters and they would want to buy that. And maybe they want to buy that and make copies of it because it's out of copyright at this point.
Sure.
So they can use the they can use the photo for whatever they want, make a T-shirt out of it or whatever they want to do.
Cool.
So. But it takes years. So if you've got a number of different places that you are listing on, it will take a while to figure out what sells best over there. And it's kind of based off past experience, I would say.
Sure.
What would fit on the venue as well. Because, not to give it away, do watch all of our Bolo videos. But Mr. Magazine had a single, I forget what it was. It was from the Fisher-Price Adventure family, like race car driver or something like that. Is there any chance that would be on Amazon?
No, I highly
Right. So if you have some,
Yeah.
or if you have a couple of spare parts that you know are going to sell for, like Monopoly game, people sell game parts.
Oh yeah, any lots, anything vintage that's loose, you can try putting on there. You might even be able to list it on there, but people aren't. They're not
not a
looking
venue
there.
for
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah, it's not a venue for that by any means.
And surprisingly, I was wrong with. I got those computer magazines from the '80s today. I got them for free, 1,000 of them. And I was talking to my employee that's a good lister, but she lists on Amazon a lot, or Amazon Scratch if it's not in the system. And I'm like, I don't know if these are going to sell on Amazon. Let's just put them on eBay and tear a peek and whatever. And then she started looking, and there is some on Amazon. I go, well, then we might as well list them there. I mean, if they're already listed, some 1982 Byte magazines, if they're $30, the picture's already on there. Why not?
Right.
And that's one thing we've changed with in past experience. We used to list magazines and pound them out on eBay years ago. And then over time, eBay seems to get, for me, my magazine sales have been dropping, or I have to sell them really, really cheap to sell them. So we've been moving them, and, instead of listing magazines on eBay, we're putting them right on Amazon now. So
nice. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you out. Again, think big and think, and there are times out there, and I shop differently than you do because I have different, because I go out to flea markets, things like that. You tend to buy what people bring you in.
Yeah.
And you don't tend to cherry pick. You tend to buy all of it.
Right.
Unless they're outrageous in their prices. Otherwise, you just say, I'll buy it all. I tend to be out there going around to the estate sales or flea markets or whatever I happen to be going to. And a lot of times I'll see a piece and I'll say, yeah, they want 50 cents on this. This is the perfect thing that will sell over on Whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'll buy it. Even though I'm not making a lot of money, it's like, I know it'll sell.
It's a guaranteed sale.
Back.
Yeah, right.
It'll get me something back, some money back, and that it'll pay for these other 2 50-cent items.
Yeah.
So, and after you've been doing it for time, that's an Etsy item because I've sold that before on Etsy, or I know that sold before me before on Amazon. And so you can kind of start to cherry pick things as well that you've had previously as well. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Do comment down below on how you choose what venue you're going to sell stuff on. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.